For me, a big part of it is understanding the process and the steps that I need to achieve. That way I have those metrics and those milestones and those cornerstones that I can see progress. And that's something, even just now, after doing this for years, I'm learning how important that is. I have to be able to see and track progress. As soon as I go too long without being able to see something tangible, I start to get really antsy and frustrated. So find what works for you, how much you can break it down, whether it's a chapter level, whether it's a word count level, motivation and staying inspired. One thing that works really, really well, this is true for when you're dealing with magic systems, when you're dealing with your story or a game. If you can find the core elements that you are most excited about and get those written down, and if you can get them condensed into like a single sentence, all the better, because then you have fodder for excitement, basically. If you know your favorite thing, your favorite character moment for your story, you know your favorite thing about the setting, you know your favorite thing about the plot, and you have that all written down in a list, when things start getting rough, you can go back and see those and draw more inspiration from that. And if you're getting bored, maybe steer back to those things that were exciting you in the first place. So when you're trying to do any kind of scheduling and project planning, that data is, a lot of that is about velocity and how fast you work. So keeping track of how many words you get done in an hour, which it will be a range. You'll need to use your own judgment to take into account what is going to be an outlier and what's the actual average that you can reliably get on a normal day. So you'll want that for your writing, you'll want that for your editing, and if you do proofreading, any of that, trying to get anything that has its own speed that is different, understanding how quickly you move in those different circles, with outlining how much time do you need to process and actually come up with the ideas behind your story. It changes, it flexes. For me, I can't reliably schedule something until I have a solid outline. So I don't schedule the outlining process. I don't put it in my calendar, I don't map things out until I have a solid outline and I know where I want the novel to go. I really like story structure in general. I like the 7-point structure, and K.M. Weiland takes that and sort of blends it with the 3-act structure on her website. And that really clicks with me. There's a bunch of space in between that you have to fill, but it hits the main beats, I find, and really helps me understand what's going on there. There is personal data that you need to know about yourself, whether you have chronic mental health, chronic physical health issues. How much downtime do you run into in a month, in a week, in a year? And you need to take that into account, because ignoring that is only hurting you and only hurting your efforts.